carbon and nitrogen are combining, sodium, carbon and nitrogen are combining to give the sodium cyanide, which is the source for, that is Na plus and Cn minus. You are taking the Lasingen extract, that is cyanide ion, plus you are adding the ferrous sulfate. This is converted into the FeCN taken twice. This FeCN taken twice is further reacting with the 4 more cyanide ions and converting to the FeCN taken 6 times, that is 4 minus ion. Ferrocyanide ion is formed. This is the principle. The ferrocyanide ion that is formed after the addition of the, that is ferrous sulfate, so reacts with the ferric ion to give the, that is Fe4 FeCN taken 6 times, that is taken twice. Ferric ion, ferrous ion, ferrocyanide. Complex that has a pressure. See, this is the simple way of explaining. Where from this comes? It comes from the ferrous sulfate only. Or else there is another procedure, that is instead of the sulfuric acid, that is in the last step, you can use the HCl also. If the HCl is used, ferrous sulfate is soluble in the, that is HCl. Ferrous chloride is formed. And further, you are adding the, externally you are adding the ferric chloride. So then, so instead of converting the ferrous ion into ferric ion, now you are adding the external ferric, this one. This is, ferric ion is added. Ferric chloride is the source for the ferric ion. The ferric ion reacts with the ferrocyanide formed and gives the this one. So, after the addition of the ferrous sulfate, you can conduct the reaction in 2 ways. By adding the H2SO4 or by adding the HCl followed by ferric chloride. So, that way you can carry out the reaction. Ferric chloride can be used. But one thing here you see, and for this organic compound should contain the nitrogen for this test as well as the carbon also. It should contain the carbon also, because it has to finally convert into the cyanide ion. So to form the word cyanide ion, that is, it should contain the carbon also. So if you take the urea, CO, double bond O, NH2, this is NH2. This contains the nitrogen as well as the carbon, therefore it gives the Lasingen's test. So if you take the hydrazine, the well-known example anywhere you can see, hydrazine is a nitrogen containing compound. See, this nitrogen containing compound, this cannot give the, that is Lasingen's test for nitrogen. Why? It has the nitrogen but there is no carbon. So nitrogen has to convert into the, that is cyanide ion. To convert into the cyanide ion, there must be a carbon. So it does not give the, this one. If you take the hydroxylamine, so it contains the nitrogen but no carbon. It does not give the test for Lasingen's test for nitrogen. So that should contain. See, one example is, important example is, that is the, anything, this is the benzene or anything that's so this is called as the benzene diazonium chloride. It is the compound with the carbon as well as the, that is nitrogen. It should give the Lasingen test for nitrogen. But this does not give the azo compound. These are called as the azo compounds, diazo compounds. These are very unstable. So to carry out the test, the given organic compound has to be strongly heated with the metallic sodium. So very unstable compound. If it is heated, before reacting with the metallic sodium, it undergoes decomposition, comes out. That is chlorobenzene is formed here. That is nitrogen is liberated. It is escaped from the system in the form of this one. So remember, azo compound, diazo compounds do not give they are nitrogen containing compounds, but they do not give the test for Lassengen's test for nitrogen due to they undergo the decomposition. Nitrogen gas is liberated. That is that escapes, nitrogen escapes. That is cyanide is not formed. Therefore, they do not give the test for. So they should contain the carbon. One, and second one is the organic compound azotype diazonium salts do not give the diazonium salts do not give that is Lassengen's test for nitrogen. See, next one is this is the test for nitrogen. Detection of the nitrogen. Next, other one is the detection of sulfur. Detection of the sulfur. Lassengen's test, same thing. So, Lassengen test means detecting. See here, there are 2-3 tests for the detection of the sulfur. A, that is sodium nitroprusside test. Sodium nitroprusside test, or just it is called as the nitroprusside test. That is B, that is lead acetate test. Lead acetate test. C is that is lead acetate test, and C is that is cadmium acetate test. Same. Acetate test. All come under the category of Lassengen's test. If an element is detected by conducting the test on the Lassengen's extract, sodium extract, so that is considered as the Lassengen's test for detection of that element. Here what happens, you see, if the given organic compound contains the sulfur, during the sodium fusion, the sulfur, organic sulfur, that is converted into the sodium sulfide. Sodium sulfide is formed, which is an ionic compound. In aqueous solution, Lassengen's extract contains, that is sulfide ion. Sodium sulfide is soluble in the water that dissociates and produces the word sulfide ion and sodium ion, sulfide ion. Now we have to conduct the test for the sulfide ion. So what is the nitroprusside test? Very first test, that is sodium nitroprusside test. And now here simple, to the Lassengen extract or sodium extract, that is add the sodium nitroprusside, a complex compound. Formation of the violet color solution is the indication for that is presence of the sulfide ion in the solution. This is the presence of the sulfur in the original organic compound. Violet coloration, formation of the violet coloration. This is what is happening. You know that Na2, that is FeCN taken 5 times NO. This is the sodium nitroprusside. It has its own legal name, sodium pentacyanide. That is nitrosonium, nitroselium, nitroselium positively gone, nitroselium, nitrosonium, that is nitrosyl. All three names can be used: nitrosyl, nitrosonium, nitroselium, and that is iron 2,8, that is ferrate 2. Sodium pentacyanide, nitrosonium, ferrate 2. This is the complex, which is known as the commercially known as the that is nitroprusside, sodium nitroprusside. This is the sodium nitroprusside. And now what you are doing? You are taking the Na2S. What happens? A addition compound is formed. Two are combining and forming a new complex. FeCN taken 5 times, NOS. Thionitrite. You know that N double bond O. This is the this one. Nitrosonium ion, nitroselium ion. Now what we are doing? We are adding the sulfide ion. So combining, forming the N double bond O. That is one negative charge is gone, positive charge. It is like this NO2. This is nitrite ion. NO2 minus nitrite ion. This is the thionitrite ion. Sulfate, thiosulfate. One of the oxygen is replaced with the, that is this one. This is called as the nitrito. This is called as the thionitrite. Is a negatively charged ligon. This is the positively charged ligon is converted into the negatively charged ligon. This is the process taking place there. So NO plus sulfide ion gives the NOS minus. So 6 are the negatively charged ligands, 4 are the positively charged counter ions that is outside the coordination sphere. Therefore, this should be plus 2. This is plus 2. This is plus 2. Now it is sodium, right? Addition compound is formed. This has the violet color. Let me write the word name. Sodium. This is pentacyanide, thionitrite, that is ferrate, that is 2. Ignore the capital letters, ferrate 2. So this is the reaction taking place. That is, the sulfide ion present in the solution can be detected by using the, that is sodium nitroprusside. Sodium nitroprusside test is the best test for the detection of the, that is the sulfide ion in the solution. So if the solution contains the sulfide ion, an addition of the sodium nitroprusside, violet solution is formed. Very sensitive. That is the, even though the sulfide ion concentration is very low, that gives the positive test. So this is called as the sodium nitroprusside test. See, the other thing is that is what you are calling, that is lead acetate. Lead sulfide is black in color. That is second test is the lead acetate test. To the Lassengen extract, add the lead acetate solution. Lead acetate is called as sugar of lead. It is soluble in the, that is lead acetate is soluble in water. Therefore, for the lead ions we are using the lead chloride, lead bromide, lead iodide. These are insoluble in the water. Lead nitrate and this is lead acetate are soluble in the water. To this added block PPT is formed. Formation of the block PPT, that is nothing but the PBS. What is this? Nothing but the, that is sodium sulfide plus lead acetate, ACO taken twice gives the PBS, double decomposition reaction, insoluble solubility product principle, that is ACO minus Na, sodium acetate is formed. This is block PPT. That is formed. Nothing but the from lead acetate to lead ion, from the Lassangen extract sulfide ion, Lassangen extract, from this is the reagent, PBS is the insoluble, block PPT is formed. Lead sulfide is black, cadmium sulfide is yellow. So for the color change we are using the cadmium sulfide reaction, but there is no speciality for that reaction. This is the third one is the cadmium sulfide, the cadmium acetate solution. That is, to the sodium sulfide add the cadmium acetate. It's a soluble compound of cadmium. That is CDS. This is yellow PPT. This is that is ACO minus Na plus. That is sodium acetate is formed. So same thing. So cadmium acetate and this one. Here it is the yellow precipitate. It is the black precipitate. These are the tests used for the detection of the sulfur in the given organic compound. But if the given organic compound contains, the sulfur as well as the nitrogen, rare. But if they contain the given organic compound contains the carbon and the nitrogen, then it can be detected by a single test. Detection of, that is nitrogen and sulfur by single test. If it contains the nitrogen as well as the sulfur both in the given organic compound, during the Lassangen's extract preparation, Lassangen's reaction, extract preparation, the nitrogen and the sulfur react with each other to give the sodium thiocyanate. This is sodium cyanide, sodium sulfur. Instead of this, the three elements are combining. That is forming this one. There is a danger of this. To avoid this, that is what we use that is if the reaction is carried in the excess. Under normal condition, that is the case. Suppose if the sodium, carbon, nitrogen, sulfur both are present, if the excess sodium is used and heating is carried, that is simple salts are formed, sodium cyanide and sodium sulfide. That is this reacts with the excess sodium with excess, that is sodium cyanide decompose into sodium sulfide. Here the anion is, that is CNS, thiocyanate ion. It is not a cyanide ion, it is not that is sulfide ion, thiocyanate ion. Thiocyanate reactions are different. If the given organic compound contains this one, normally you always use that one to prevent this problem. If then what happens to the Lassangen's extract, add the ferric chloride. Ferric ions are added. That is that blood red color solution is formed. Blood red solution is formed. What is happening? That is here NaCNS plus ferric chloride, which is the source for the ferric ions. That is it gives that is FeCNS taken thrice, ferric thiocyanate. Ferric thiocyanate is formed. Ferric thiocyanate is formed. That is the thiocyanate ion reacts with the ferric ion. This is from Lassangen extract. This is from ferric chloride. I am writing the ionic reaction. Two are combining and forming this one blood red color. Solution is formed. So if the both are present, to avoid this complication, what normally they do is, that is first that is to prevent the formation of this thiocyanate, that is excess sodium is used, which decompose this way and form the simple sulfides. So that is the common test for the detection of the nitrogen and sulfur, two elements simultaneously with a single test, that is to the Lassingen extract, ferric chloride is used, ferric thiocyanate is formed as that is a blended color solution. With that color of the solution, we can identify the result. These are the detection of the sulfur and the nitrogen. The next. See, now is the detection of halogens. Halogens, Lassingen's test. See here, the one is there are two methods, but actually Lassingen's test is used to detect this one. See, it can be a fluoride, it can be a chloride, it can be a bromide, and iodine can be present in the given organic compound. They are converted to their corresponding halides. Sodium plus fluorine gives sodium fluoride, where the fluorine is present in the Lassingen extract in the form of fluoride ion, and sodium reacts with the chlorine, organic chlorine, converted to the sodium chloride, where the chlorine is present in the chloride ion. Sodium reacts with the bromine to give the sodium bromide, and where the bromine is present in the form of sodium bromide, bromide ion. And similarly, if iodine is present, sodium iodide is formed in the Lassingen extract, sodium extract. The best test for this is the and silver nitrate test. The Lassingen extract, here we use the silver nitrate. There in the nitrogen detection we use ferrosulfate, sulfuric acid. And here to the Lassingen extract, take the Lassingen extract and treat with the few drops of the concentrated HNO3 first. Why this concentrated HNO3 is added? This decomposes this is added to decompose the cyanides, and that is if the nitrogen is present that contains cyanide, that interferes in the reaction. That is when treated with the HNO3, that gives the NaNO3 plus HCN, which is a gas, that is you are decomposing the nitrogen compound. To prevent the interference, this test to be carried, that is detection of the halogen can be carried on the Lassingen's extract in the absence of that is the cyanide and sulfide. And if the sulfur is present in the given compound, that is converted to the sodium sulfide, on addition of the HNO3, it is converted into the H2S plus NaNO3 nitrate. This is also gas. We are decomposing these two to prevent the interference of the nitrogen. This HNO3 is added if the given organic compound contains nitrogen or sulfur or nitrogen and sulfur both. Otherwise there is no need to use. That is no use. This is eliminated. Otherwise, if the sulfur is present, it is present in this one. In the presence of the sodium sulfide, the test is carried. Silver nitrate reacts with the sulfide ion and black silver sulfide is formed. So it interferes in the reaction. First it to be treated with this, and next after treating with this one nitric acid, then add silver nitrate solution. The best reagent to detect the halide ions, chloride, bromide and iodide ion is that is silver nitrate. That is what AgCl is formed, white cardiac precipitate. White cardiac precipitate is formed, that is chloride ion is present. If it on addition of the silver nitrate, pale yellow PPT is formed. Pale yellow PPT, that is silver bromide, that indicates that bromide presence of the bromide ion. If it is treated with the silver nitrate, that is yellow PPT is formed. That is silver iodide is the yellow PPT, that is iodide ion is present. Iodine is present. To the lozenges extract, add a few drops of the concentrate HNO3, then add that is silver nitrate solution. White cardiac precipitate, that is silver chloride. In the original organic compound, chlorine is present. Second one is if pale yellow PPT is formed, that is silver bromide is the pale yellow PPT, and bromine is present in the original compound. In this test, if the yellow precipitate is formed, that indicates that original organic compound contains the iodine and this yellow precipitate is the silver iodide. That is chlorine is present, that is AgCl is formed, white cardiac precipitate soluble in ammonia. This is due to if ammonia is added, silver chloride is soluble in the ammonia due to the formation of the complex thiamine, right? Silver 1 chloride soluble. Bromine is present, that is and silver bromide is formed finally, that is pale yellow PPT. Pale yellow PPT. This is the sparingly soluble in ammonia. Soluble in ammonia. And iodine is present, that is silver iodide is formed when silver nitrate is added to the lozenges extract. This is yellow PPT. That's all. See, this is the case. To the lozenge extract, add few drops of the HNO3 and then add the silver nitrate solution. White cardiac precipitate, which is soluble in the ammonia, indicates the presence of the chlorine in the original organic compound. The white cardiac precipitate is silver chloride, and if it contains the bromine in the original organic compound, in the lozenges test with the silver nitrate, that gives that pale yellow precipitate. If the iodine is present, that gives that is a yellow precipitate silver iodide. Finally, the presence of the halogens are detected in the form of they are detected in the form of the silver halides. Finally, chlorine is detected in the form of AgCl, bromine is detected in the form of AgBr, iodine is detected in the form of silver iodide. This is the chemistry part of that is the detection of the halogens. See, the other one is if the fluorine is present. Yeah, we are not taking into consideration fluorine. If the fluorine is present in the given organic compound, if the fluorine is present in the given organic compound, see, this is the fluoride ion is formed. And what happens? And how to detect the fluoride? That is silver fluoride, AgF, is soluble in the, that is water. It's a soluble compound. Among the 4 halides of the silver fluoride, chloride, silver bromide and silver iodide, among the 4 silver halides, that is chloride, bromide, iodide are insoluble in the water, but silver fluoride is soluble in the water. So by using the silver nitrate, the fluoride ion presence in the Lasingen extract cannot be detected. So what to do? But calcium fluoride is insoluble. Calcium also forms 4 halides: fluoride, chloride, bromide, iodide. But among the 4 halides, chloride, bromide, iodide are soluble in the water, calcium case, whereas calcium fluoride is, that is insoluble. Exactly reverse, that is calcium halides and silver halides chemistry. Among the 4 silver halides, silver chloride, silver bromide, silver iodide are insoluble in the water, but silver fluoride is soluble. Whereas among the 4 halides of the calcium, calcium fluoride is insoluble in the water. Chloride, bromide, iodides of calcium are soluble. Therefore, always to detect the chloride, bromide, iodide, silver nitrate is used to convert it to the insoluble silver salts. Whereas to detect the fluoride ion, that is calcium ion is used, that is calcium nitrate or calcium nitrate is used, or calcium chloride is used. So silver fluoride, calcium fluoride, it is detected in the form of, to detect the fluoride ion. To detect the fluoride ion, fluorine in the given organic compound, take the Lasingen's extract, treat with the HNO3 to decompose, then add the, that is the same, after adding this, that is calcium nitrate. Why calcium nitrate? The calcium nitrate is the soluble compound, calcium ion. This has to supply the calcium ion. Calcium ion, Ca2 plus ion, plus that is 2 fluoride ions give the calcium fluoride to the Lasingen extract. So Lasingen extract contains sodium fluoride, to that calcium nitrate is added. This gives the insoluble white precipitate CaF2, white PPT plus NaNO3 is formed. This is the white precipitate, calcium fluoride is formed. So this is the case. So to the Lasingen extract, add a few drops of the HNO3 and calcium nitrate solution. You get that is if white precipitate is formed, that indicates that contains that is fluoride ion. Test for the fluoride ion. Original organic compound contains the fluoride. To the Lasingen extract, add the silver nitrate after treating with the HNO3. That is, you get the precipitate is formed. Chloride, bromide, iodide are present in this one. Based on the color of the precipitate, the chlorine, bromine, iodine can be detected. Yellow precipitate, iodine is present. Pale yellow precipitate, bromine is present. That is a white precipitate, white curdy precipitate. That is a loosey precipitate, that which is soluble in the AgCl. Test for the AgCl is, it is a curdy, which is insoluble in the water. Second one is the curdy precipitate, and this AgCl is readily soluble in the ammonia due to the formation of the diamine complex. This is the test for the detection of the halides. That is the other one is this is first Lasingen's test. This is the Bilstein's test. The second test for the detection of the halogen is that is a Bilstein's test. BEI, Bilstein's test. It is a qualitative test and essay. See, in this test, it's another test. It is not the Lassenden test. Here we are not using in this test Lassenden's extract. It is directly conducted on the given organic substance. See, in this test, what they do is that is take a copper wire, small wire. On hammering, this end becomes the flat. Little flat on hammering, and it is cleaned. It is heated on the copper wire is heated on the Bunsen flame. The all volatile impurities that are associated with the copper surface, they are all eliminated. Now, what they do is the small amount of the organic compound is placed on the flat end of the copper wire. So, organic substance directly we are using, remember, is kept on the flat end of the small copper wire. Copper wire, cleaned it, and organic substance is placed. Once you hammer, that end becomes the flat. On flat end it is placed. Now, what they do? This is heated on the Bunsen flame. Now slowly this is exposed to the copper wire is exposed to the Bunsen, heated on the Bunsen flame. Directly that is kept on the Bunsen flame. During the heating, and what happens? The copper associated with this copper wire reacts with the halogen with the organic substance and converted into halogen converted to the copper halide. Copper halide, just like a flame test, copper halide. Given organic compound is placed on the flat end of the copper wire and strongly heated on the Bunsen flame. During the heating, the halogen present in the organic compound reacts with the copper and converted to the copper halide. And copper halides are the chemistry of the copper halides is volatile compounds. That is, on heating, readily they convert into the vapor form. So the organic compound reacts with this, halogen reacts with the copper and converted to copper halide, which readily changes into the vapor. The copper halide formed comes out. This is the Bunsen flame. This is the vapors of the copper halide are vaporizing. While vaporizing, they give the characteristic color to the flame. So green color, that is formation of the green color flame, or that is a blue color flame. Blue color flame indicates that formation of that is copper halide and indicates the presence of the halogen. To detect the halogen in the given organic compound, Bilstein's test also used. In the Bilstein's test, that is the halogen is detected by converting that is halogen into volatile copper halide. Known mass of small amount of that is given organic compound is placed on the flat end of the copper wire and strongly heated on the Bunsen flame. During the heating, that is during the heating, if the flame turns green or blue, the special blue, that indicates the presence of the halogen in the organic compound. And next thing is see what is the principle involved during the heating? That is the halogen present in the organic compound chemically reacts with the copper part of the copper wire and convert into the copper halide. If the chlorine is present, copper chloride is formed. Bromine is present, copper bromide is formed. Iodine is present, copper iodide is formed. All copper halides are that is volatile compounds. They convert into the gas form. While vaporizing the copper halide formed, they give the characteristic color to the flame. That is here, the characteristic color. Color of the flame changes. If the color of the flame changes during this process to the green or blue, that indicates that is the given organic compound contains halogen. But all are giving the same color, green or blue color. By using this test, one, the specific halogen cannot be identified. Whether the given compound contains the chlorine or bromine or iodine cannot be identified by the Bilstein test. That is the major disadvantage of this process. The second thing is the many organic compounds without possessing the halogen can also give the blue coloration or green coloration. False test. So that is urea. This is the urea. So this is no halogen in this nitrogen fertilizer, no halogen, but this gives the Bilstein, positive Bilstein test. So that is similarly thiourea. This is called as the urea, this is called as the thiourea. This is urea, this is thiourea. Both give the positive test. And some of the organic compound, even though they contain the halogen, they do not give the positive Bilstein test. So specific halogen cannot be identified. And second thing is that compounds without halogen also give this test. So therefore it is not an authentic test for that is identification of that is the halogen. The Lassengen's test is the best test for the identification of the halogens. That is and the next part of it is last element, that is for detection of the phosphorus. Detection of the phosphorus, ammonium molybdate test. This is not the Lassengen's test. We are not conducting that is. See, you may ask, if the phosphorus is present in the given organic compound during the fusion, what happens? Nothing will happen. The phosphorus which is associated with the organic compound during the sodium fusion, that is converted to sodium phosphide, Na3P. When Na3P, so this is sodium, reacts with the phosphorus and converted to the Na3P, sodium phosphide. Once it is dissolved in the water, it is converted into the sodium hydroxide plus phosphine is liberated. It is a gas comes out. Though it is not in the Lassengen, gas is forming. Therefore, Lassengen's test is not applicable. By using the Lassengen's test, we cannot identify that is phosphorus. Detection of the phosphorus. Phosphorus and ammonium molybdate test. Ammonium molybdate test. See, in this test, that is the organic phosphorus is converted into finally it is converted into the phosphate ion. It's converted to phosphate ion. And test for the phosphate ion is by using the ammonium molybdate, that is phosphate ion is detected. So let me write the procedure for the detection, how it is. That is, organic phosphorus is first converted into this one in this test procedure. The organic substance is heated with, that is and fusion mixture Na2CO3 plus NaNO3 mixture. So they say that, so instead of sodium nitrate, they say that potassium nitrate. Potassium nitrate and sodium carbonate mixture is called as the that is called as the fusion mixture. It is an oxidizing agent. You know the nitrate chemistry. When potassium nitrate, alkali nitrates are heated, they convert into their corresponding nitrites, and oxygen is liberated, or nascent oxygen is liberated. Right? Here this is converted into and now what happens? This is converted into the phosphorus, and this is oxygen. This oxygen gives during the heating gives the P2O5, phosphorus pentoxide. Phosphorus pentoxide P2O5 reacts with the sodium carbonate. It is the Na2CO3 to give the Na3PO4 plus carbon dioxide. So in total, what happens? You see, that is phosphorus plus sodium carbonate plus potassium nitrite, that on mixture on heating gives Na3PO4 plus KNO2 plus carbon dioxide. This is the organic phosphorus is ultimately converted to the phosphate ion, that is in the form of sodium phosphate. But first, fuse with organic compound is fused with, that is fusion mixture. So there is another procedure that is called as the other way also it is carried. So this is the organic substance is treated with the sodium peroxide, which is an oxidizing agent. This is converted, Na3PO4 is formed. Sodium phosphate is formed. This is the case. Oxidizing agent like hydrogen peroxide. Then the first step is over. Given organic compound is heated with the sodium carbonate and potassium nitrate mixture, strongly heated. During this process, the phosphorus associated with the organic compound is converted into the sodium phosphate. This is the chemical process involved in that. This is the, so instead of that is a sodium carbonate and potassium carbonate mixture, you directly use the sodium peroxide, which acts as an oxidizing agent. There also it is converted to this. Organic phosphorus is converted to the sodium phosphate or phosphate ion. Now the next thing is second part. The second part of the test is now it is treated with that is nitric acid. Then concentrated HNO3 is added. Add concentrated HNO3 to the residue. There what happens, you see, Na3PO4 sodium phosphate plus HNO3 gives H3PO4 phosphoric acid plus NaNO3. So phosphoric acid is formed. Treat with then third, that is add ammonium molybdate. Excess of the HNO3 is added. Then ammonium molybdate is added. Ammonium molybdate is nothing but the salt of molybdenum, ammonium MoO4. This is the ammonium molybdate. MoO4 ion is that is the molybdate ion. On addition of this, then what happens? The H3PO4, you see, plus the HNO3 concentrated plus ammonium molybdate NH4 taken twice, MoO4 ammonium molybdate. Then what happens? That is converted into this is the third one, converted into that is and yellow precipitate, canary yellow precipitate, ammonium taken thrice PO4, 12 MoO3 plus ammonium nitrate plus water is formed. This is the case. So phosphoric acid, phosphate ion, treated with the ammonium molybdate in the presence of HNO3. Here it is converted into this precipitate is formed. That is this is called as the ammonium phosphomolybdate. Ammonium phosphomolybdate. This has the color of canary yellow. Yellow precipitate. Canary yellow precipitate is formed. See, it is a yellow precipitate. A yellow precipitate with a the specific shade is called as the canary yellow precipitate. See, that is in the red color there are many shades: rose red, brick red, post office red. There are many red shades. So similarly, in the yellow color also there are many shades. The one of the shade is called as that is canary yellow. Canary yellow precipitate is formed. See, given organic compound is treated strongly heated with the fusion mixture, that is potassium, sodium carbonate and potassium nitrate mixture. During this process, the phosphorus present in the organic compound is converted to that is phosphate ion, and finally exists in the form of sodium phosphate. To that, add the concentrated HNO3. When excess of HNO3 is added, the phosphate ion is converted into the phosphoric acid. Then to that, after addition of the HNO3, add the ammonium molybdate. On addition of the ammonium molybdate, a complex compound known as the ammonium phosphomolybdate is formed. This is a precipitate. It has the canary yellow precipitate. So heat the given organic compound with that is fusion mixture. Then add constant HNO3 followed by the addition of the ammonium molybdate, that is gives the canary yellow precipitate. Formation of the canary yellow precipitate is the indication for that is presence of the phosphorus in the original organic compound. So phosphorus is detected in the form of by converting into the nitrogen is detected by converting into the cyanide ion, sulfur is detected by converting into the sulfide ion, halogen is detected by converting into the halide ion, and this is phosphorus is detected in this series of tests. Phosphorus present in the organic compound is detected by converting into the phosphate ion. Ultimately, it is precipitated in the form of ammonium phosphomolybdate. So this is the detection. The leftover one is the oxygen. So there is no direct identification test for the oxygen, because everywhere oxygen is present. There is no the sharp the reaction, color reaction for the identification of that is oxygen. There is no direct test for the identification of oxygen in the organic compound. Presence of the oxygen in the organic compound cannot be done by using the chemical procedures. The presence of the oxygen is determined by indirect methods. Then later on I will tell you how to identify the presence of oxygen. That is without conducting the test.